started talking about numbers, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about numbers, about different ways that you can measure the success of the project. And that's what we're going to talk about in the Think recap. I'm going to talk about numbers mostly, and then Andreas is going to talk a little bit about the content itself. Eva? Oh. Here we go, drum roll. Yeah, just the... Okay, so, right, we start the recap. So first of all, the first number is 124. So 124 days of blogging, 81 bloggers took part in. It started on February 2nd and it ended on June 4th officially, although posts keep going up, which is great. And in those 124 days, we had another number, which is 600. And 600 is the number of blog posts, or I think it was around that. I think it was 590 something last time I checked, which was almost double the amount of numbers, the amount of posts that we expected originally. So that was amazing. That's a great, great sign that everyone was still enthusiastic to post over and beyond what we had asked for, which is wonderful. The third number is 50,000, and that's the number of unique visitors that visited the Think About It project throughout the 4 months. And they contributed to the next number, which is 2.7 million, and that's the number of hits that the site got, which was pretty huge. And all of those visitors came from another number, which is 100, and that's 100 countries that visited the project. And there were 94 in the first month, so very, very impressive. The top visitors were from the UK, Germany, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Bulgaria. Wow, which is interesting.
No.
And
Good marking.
so, as Willie mentioned, it's not 1,400 Google links that you can find to Think About It, the project, not the Think car or the Think City car that comes up sometimes when you Google it, but Think About It, the project that we did, which is huge, which we're really, really happy about. And those 14,000 links come from, in part, from 5,000 individual URL trackbacks to the project or to blog posts, which is really quite impressive. And another way that we can measure the impact of the project is through press that the project was featured in. And it was really like an overwhelming amount of international press. Everything from BBC to Kazakhstan Today talked about, Think About It in one way or another, featuring us as a new and innovative project, sometimes talking about individual bloggers or featuring blog posts in specific, but it's really quite impressive. And not only that, but externally, like for example, a reason that Kazakhstan Today featured us is because Think About It representatives were invited to speak at international media events all over the world. And those include, as you can see in the next slide, the Eurasian Media Forum, Digital News Affairs, New European Media, and Election Times, which was great. Clearly showing that Think About It is something that's interesting to people from all over the world, not just within the borders of the EU. So now that this is all done, and now that we can see how awesome it was, the big question is, what's next? Question mark. And I can tell you that it's going to continue, that it's going to change, that there's going to be new ideas, maybe a new format. We're going to incorporate some new people. I can tell you that it's going to start in the fall, and it's going to center around climate change and in the Copenhagen Summit. I can't tell you too much else. That's because we are still working on exactly how we're going to do it. I can tell you that in a couple weeks, you're all going to get a lot of information. You're also going to get a feedback form online that we're going to ask you for everything that you thought about the project, what you thought we did wrong, what you thought we did well, what we can do next time, new ideas that you have. And you'll also get a lot of information about what we're doing next. So, you know, just just hold on, it'll come to you. Yeah, so that's really my little presentation about the recap. I'm going to hand this over to Andreas, and after Andreas is done talking to you guys for a bit, we're going to have the panel to talk about exactly what happened in the elections and what's happening in the blogosphere at large. So I'll just hand it over to Andreas.
Yeah, thanks a lot. First of all, thanks a lot for your enthusiasm, and that was quite overwhelming. And if there was a bad thing in this whole project, this was basically that there were too many posts to actually keep track of. To read everything took quite a long time. So that's why I don't want to pick into individual content posts. I think there was a lot of good quality content. There was good blogging, good journalism. It's a very individualist approach really, because everyone is aiming for something else and trying different things. But I think when I talked to some of you earlier today, yesterday, I think I got the feeling that everyone appreciates the kind of experimental framework, that everyone could try out things and see whether it worked or not. So I think from that point of view, it was quite a success. I personally learned a lot, especially about politics in small countries. I think I'm now a specialist in Latvian, Bulgarian, Slovakian politics that I didn't even know existed before in such a detail. Which brings me to the next thing. I just got the European Voice from this week, and since I'm now trained to look for small countries, of course, the first thing I saw that they were missing two countries in their election coverage. It was Bulgaria and Romania. So, so that also proves that actually a project like that of talking about the EU is necessary, and actually you keep an eye on the mainstream media, what they actually report about Europe and the EU, even the specialized European Voice that is the Economist in the background. So it's a very well-respected, most Brussels-based paper.
Yeah, that's not
what else? I've been invited to a lot of conferences in Brussels, and everyone was talking about you guys. Maybe I should kind of bring that forward as well. People really liked the content they read. They kept asking what's happening with you afterwards. So if you get some headhunting emails these days, don't be surprised. They might kind of want you for other things as well. So I don't want to really talk too much about it, because we actually have a really interesting panel, and it's the first time that we kind of have kind of these weird bloggers that also kept commenting all the time on your posts. So, but I want to just see one little thing. So who wants to continue blogging about the EU after the project? Just like that's EU politics. Nothing else. Okay, but that's quite good. Okay, so if you need anything, you're of course always welcome to contact us, and we can always help you with stuff. And I'm sure also Joel and Julia and everyone is very happy to help you with anything. It's a very nice and small community, and you're always welcome to come in there. So I think that's about it, and yeah, maybe the other.